Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try to run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Afridamus Report. Welcome in the house, St. James, KS. I want to welcome all of you and all the other people. This is Africa. I hope you guys are ready for a good show today. But before we get into this show, I would like to address some of the beta males, and even the beta females that come to this show. You have to realize, just like the introduction says, at this show, we are about the truth, nothing but the truth. It's not about your feelings, people, because the things that I'm saying, I want you to engage me on those topics, not on your own feelings. And I know this topic that I'm about to embark on here, this is going to make a lot of beta males and beta females really, really upset. They're going to be very upset at this. Welcome in the house area. People, make sure you hit the like as you're coming in the door so that we can bring the other people into the show. That's what spreads the message. But today we're going to talk about wokeism. As you guys know, they have been putting this woke stuff in our faces for quite some time now. And for some of you, you probably were wondering, you're like, come on, guys, man, what is going on? This is so abnormal. You're not wrong for thinking that, people. I'm the same way, because the things that you used to know to be normal, now they made it abnormal. And they're telling you and I not to believe our lying eyes, because they're telling us that our lies are lies. DMF, welcome in the house. Welcome. People, just give me a second here. Let me grab my water. Give me 1 second. Because you know, when you're talking, you need to be hydrated. So today, we're going to talk about wokeism. Wokeism in America. Um, it's my understanding that other places they have woke people there, and I can suddenly tell you when it comes to wokeness, you know, black women are leading the pack when it comes to wokeness in America. Oh, even in England, I've seen some woke British women, and some of the woke British guys. They come here to, on the Afridamus report. They try to tell me about how wrong I am, but they are telling me about their feelings. The pictures that you're seeing, these are actual pictures. Your eyes are not lying to you. These are not Photoshop. Yes, the woman you're seeing, she actually took those pictures because guess what? They started telling her that she is sexy. They made her popular. She has talent. Don't get me wrong. She can sing. She can do a whole lot of things, which is great. She's into entertainment. That's cool. I have no problem with big girls. Okay? I want to make that clear. But now, when you're trying to force this big girl ness down our throat, you're refusing to cover your body, you're constantly taking your clothes off. Now that becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. In fact, a couple months ago, what did they do prior to Lizzo? I mean, I would get to Lizzo because this topic is about her. What did they do? They took an oversized black woman, and put her in front of the magazine, half naked. This is what they did. And they are selling this to people. Okay? And when you think about it, they started saying, oh, when you speak about this, when you speak about how disgusting it looks, that makes you a fat phobic person. Well, today, you guys are going to call me fat phobic because I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to talk about this because you guys know this is destroying, especially the black community, the black quote unquote culture in America. If you guys think about it, years ago, they used to show regular looking black women, beautiful black women. They put them on magazines. They show us the beautiful black women all over. People are proud of them. We're like, yeah, they look nice and healthy. Go look at Pam Grier. If you look at Lizzo, you would think she swallowed Pam Grier and a couple other Pam Griers. This is how big this woman has been. First, what did she do? She goes to a Lakers basketball game. This is 2 years ago. When this woman walked into the stadium, did you know what she did? She cut out the back of her dress. She put a big hole there while she's wearing a thong. People, I'm sorry that I'm painting this image to you. Imagine a woman who is almost 400 pounds. She comes in public doing this. Absolutely no shame. Absolutely no shame. So now, fit athletic women are the ones that are being shamed for showing their body. But I'm glad to see that a lot more people are waking up. They are waking up. They are now putting Lizzo in her place because with this Chinese virus that came around, and when they lock places down, so many people, they lost their jobs, they've been at home, and this has been going on for a whole year. If you're not aware of it, you must have been hiding in some cave in Kabul, Afghanistan. But if you are with us here, you know exactly what has been going on around here. So, but before we get into Lizzo, it's not only her, because even the black men also. I would, the black boys, they've turned them inside out too. They've put them in dresses, taking pictures of them and putting it in front of us. There's a guy called Little Nas X, if you're not familiar with him. Little Nas X is front of a magazine. They wrote that they're having, hot boy summer. So they want to normalize these things for all of us. They have another one, called Cardi B. So Cardi B, she plays the role of a slut. And they have another one called Megan Thee Stallion. She also plays the role of a slut. They made a very provocative music. They call this music the WAP. When you listen to the words in this song, when you listen to it, it's very, very disgusting, people. It's very disgusting. This is not the way. This is not the way we want our society to be. Let's just be honest. Nobody is saying to Lizzo she cannot eat, but she goes to these basketball games, cutting the backside of her, her dress. because she was trying to entice the basketball players. Are you kidding me? But why is Lizzo confident enough to do this, people? That's what people should be asking. This word that they say, black girl magic. Because in the last few years, for a long time now, I have noticed the black women, especially, not, their sizes, ever since Lizzo came to the scene, their size have been increasing. They talk about, oh, they used to try to make excuses and be like, oh, I'm big bonded. And even the women that used to say I'm big bonded, they are nowhere close to Lizzo's size. It used to be, when you are overweight like that, you know, like you are ashamed, because it's something that you should be ashamed of, because, you are ruining your own health. You see, it's not about people trying to um, treat you, in a disrespectful manner or whatsoever. It is about being healthy. But now, if you don't want to do that, men also have the right to reject you every single time. Every single time. Plain and simple. So, this is why Lizzo, with her fame and popularity, she still cannot find, a taker. Seriously, she cannot find a taker. The people that she's looking at, and nobody wants her. This is the truth. Now, Lizzo's her only option is to go to Ghana. You know, her only option is to go to Ghana. Maybe, a Kwame would pick her, or a Kwesi. We don't know. But now America is off limits, because even her fans have turned on her. But before we get into that, we have to, bring the Pan-Africanist, church choir, so that they can, play the music and get you into the groove here. And then we would go in about the latest news about Lizzo, because she finally went from black girl magic to black girl tragic. She is finally got her reality check. That's right, Audrey. Green card Kwame. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that was the Pan Africanist church choir, and I hope you enjoyed that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see the lineup there, we have Little Nas X, we have an unknown black woman named there. Like literally, they are doing this. They are encouraging black women in America, telling them that doing that damage to your body, is acceptable. This is what they are telling us. They are saying that, that is a good thing. This is sexy. Why are they doing this? First, what did they do? They encourage lesbianism and aggression in Black women. So now, your regular Black woman, I'm talking about regular Black women, young Black women, they are they are they are no longer regular size. They are bigger than men. I have seen some of these women. They are, like they are like 6 foot, 300 pounds. I said, what is going on in America? What is going on? But now the woke mob have spoken to Lizzo. So the other day, Lizzo had a little concert, whatever, and she was there as usual. She wore like this little mini skimpy, skirt, and all her, her jiggles were out again. And finally, the fans, they are like, look, we've had enough of this, Lizzo. We can no longer take this. And the fans were heckling her. The fans started telling her that, look, Lizzo, you need to stop doing this. This is disgusting. You need to go see a trainer. Like the fans truly, they spoke about what she's doing. And she didn't like it. She was very, very sad and upset because at one point I was like, okay, maybe Lizzo is just playing around, trying to be entertaining. But one thing I know for sure, one thing is clear to me, which is she has no shame. She has no shame. And I'm saying, not all, but most Black women I see in America, they have zero shame. Because when you see them in crowds, they have no problem. It's like they are in a trance. They would start just, dropping it like it's hot. They would start, twerking. They would even jump on cars and twerk. And if anyone says, Afridamus, you're not telling the truth, go on the internet. Not only did I see these things in real life, this is what the reality is. If they are not twerking, they would be in a restaurant. They would be loud. They would be the loudest and the most obnoxious people there. They would be fighting people, rude and obnoxious. So you guys know Lizzo took that, to a whole new different level. She took it to a whole completely different level, brought it to international, audience. And you have to ask yourself, who are the people behind Lizzo encouraging her? Because they know this day was bound to come. They set her up. Because you see, let me tell you one thing. Those of you that try to censor people from telling you the truth, you are only hurting yourself. Oh yeah, seriously, you're hurting yourself. Because the people that are propping you up, they can only protect you for so long. They can only protect you for so long. And, some of the other people, they would just go along, up to they can no longer take it, and they will be like, you know what? Enough is enough. And Lizzo have just finally got that wake-up call. Her fans totally rejected her disgusting behavior. They rejected it. She made a video crying, talking about, oh, I work so hard. Even when I have root canal, I would go to the studio to make you guys song. Fine. We know Lizzo has a great voice. She can play the flute. We all know this. She's good at this. She should have stuck to this. Let me tell you something. She's not the only first big girl who could sing. Okay? Aretha Franklin, she could sing. I mean, when she was younger, she was skinny, but at some point, she put on weight. But you're not going to see you've never seen Aretha Franklin, showing her naked body. You would never see that. But this woman is very happy to do this. And now, finally, the people are tired of her. And I hope you are tired of her too. And if you are somebody who think you are like Lizzo, you have Lizzo's body style, you should definitely not do these things. Or if you're raising your child to be Little Nas X, let me see, Supergirl said, let me tell you something in Afridamus voice. That's right. So this is what is going on. The mob crowd is finally, going down. And it's not only Lizzo that is going down. Even in the Olympics, you look at all those black women that came there. You have the one, Simone Biles, last Olympics before this one. She was doing so good. She was the best. Everyone liked her. They're like, oh, black girl magic. This year she came, and she totally crashed and burned. You have few of the woke crowd, because this is how I knew that there is evil behind this woke crowd. You know how I know? Hillary Clinton and Jen Psaki, all those evil white women, they support this type of behavior. But you notice they themselves, they're not going to do it. They are not going to push their own people, their relatives, to do these things. But for some reason, the black population is always on standby when it comes to doing this type of things. Whenever they need degeneracy displayed, they always somehow end up finding, a black woman to do it, or a black man who, quote unquote, black boy, that would think that they are actually female, which is what Little Nas X, does. So let's not fool ourselves. People, don't fool yourself. Know this. People are tired of the woke crowd. People are even tired of hearing about this racism stuff. Because now, if you think that you can just go out there and show your oversized body, that people are not going to say something to you, you are certainly mistaken, because people are tired of seeing these things. We are tired of it. In fact, I remember 2 years ago, I put up a poll. I put up Lizzo's picture, and I put up a poll for people to take the poll. The question was, should Lizzo cover up? I said, is this behavior right? The people that went against me was more than those who supported the idea that Lizzo should focus on her talent and cover up. Because the thing is, it's like I saw this day coming. I knew eventually she is going to crash and burn, whether she likes it or not. Because I haven't seen people. Have you ever heard any rumor to say, oh, there is somebody who is secretly, some guy, a popular guy, who is even secretly going out with Lizzo? No. And I can tell you about men. There is certain size. There are some big girls. Some guys would sneak around. They wouldn't announce it to the world, but nobody was doing that with Lizzo. Lizzo thought her fame, her money, that's what would attract men to her, and this part I have to say to women in general. Because there are some women, most women, especially black women, that fool themselves into thinking that, like, they would tell you about their degrees or their jobs. I'll tell you something. Men don't care about your degrees. They don't care about your job you have. they could care less about what you have. Because look at Lizzo. If you're talking about money, she got it. You're talking about fame, she got it. She got talent too. But no man cares about that. You know, you look at men. I mean, I gotta give it to the American entertainers this time around, because even the ones, that are washed up, you guys know there is washed up stars, people that would even, you know nobody is even using her as a come up, because who wants that stain on your history? I mean, if she was a big girl that covers up, covers herself up, sure, maybe somebody would give it a try. But she is showing her elephant body to the whole world. So if you get yourself in it, she's going to expose you as the one that climbs on that elephant. So this is why men are not doing this. They are not doing this. Okay? Let's see. Look, Miss Kizzy, I get that. The women on, I have seen women that are so big, they ride in scooters. Yes, there are some of them, they have men, but look at those men. What kind of men are those? Are those men, did you ever see any of those men looking like me here? No, none of them look normal. Those are not men that, everybody is looking for. There is something wrong with them. Maybe those men, their mamas used to be big like that. So, and I'll tell you, there is a lot of men who are suffering from mama issue. They have the mama trauma drama. This is what they have going on. Uh, uh, Ladies and gentlemen, give me a second. I have to answer this. This seems like an emergency call. Give me a second here. Hey, I'm busy right now. I'm in the middle of a show. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had to answer that phone call. The phone kept ringing, so I had to answer, but I'll get back to the guy in a little bit. My phone is always going off for some reason. But now, if you look at it, the men that would go for that, these are consistent beta males. And you would even find this. One thing I have to say, Lizzo, if she goes to Africa, she would find herself a man there, because I've noticed that there's a lot of African men who are consistent beta males. I remember, in fact, DMF is here in the chat here. DMF said something along this line about, these big women who have no shame, not understanding that men do not like this type of women. You would think a black woman or a woman would be the one that's gonna be so upset and completely lose it. No, it was a consistent beta male, that was offended by this. Ladies, look, I'm telling you this out of love. Believe it. It's out of love. It's not about, because some would say, I like myself just how I am. I'm sexy. Oh no, you are not sexy. I'm here to tell you that. You are not sexy. You are far from being sexy. There is no amount of money that Lizzo can pay me for me to go out with Lizzo. No amount of money. I mean, maybe if she takes me to a steakhouse, but after the date, I'm leaving. I'm getting an Uber, I'm gone. Okay? Maybe that part. I'll get an Uber and I'm gone. And I'll make sure there's no cameras around, make sure that doesn't go into the history books. Because all men have been avoiding this. She's already made a pass on several several men, and they all rejected her. And she did this in public, in the public's eye. So anybody that want to support her, because I know black women like to say, oh, we black women have to stick together, we have to support one another. But if you want to support Lizzo, you would have to speak the truth. You would have to talk to the woke mob. She is a symptom of what the black community look like today. Unfortunately, that's the truth, people. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And you guys can see where this is headed. This is not good. This is why you look at it. That's why black people would walk around and, they demand respect. Not all, but most, they would say, I demand respect from people. And they are looking at you like, respect. You got your women looking like Lizzo, looking like Lizzo. They're around the mall. And I could see if this was just Lizzo by herself, or Megan, the male horse, or, Cardi B now, she's black too. They are making her pass as black. This is what, like, black women especially, you guys should reject this. You guys should reject this. Let's see, brother. Oh man, you know what? DMF, I'm gonna drop you the link, because you might take a long time writing. Let me drop you the link here real quick, so you can speak on that, because I remember when you said something about this the other day. The backlash, I could not even believe it. The backlash that you got. Give me a second here. What is going on? Man, my mouse is acting up. Okay. Give me a sec. Let me put the link in here for you, DMF. Okay, give me a sec. All right, I don't know what's happening with my thing here. Just bear with me. Copy it. Shift. Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on with my this is the thing, when I'm not home, it just makes things really difficult. But the conversation I'm talking about the other day, DMF was talking about the same type of thing. And you know what happened? It was a male that went against him. Completely went against him. And I was like, my goodness, what is going on in amongst black people? Seriously, what is going on? First, even this year alone, black women especially have been making so much fool of themselves. Think about even in the Olympics. Who was there, trying to make all this noise, and they keep failing? Black women. And now Lizzo, all of these women are crashing and burning.
Saying finally, I said my wife's Indian and Iranian.
Oh, can you hear me, DMF?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Thank you for joining me again. What do you think about this topic here?
Well, I mean, the last time I had this kind of conversation was on I think was with you, but I told you about a story that I went on Mr. Uganda's channel, and because I mentioned the fact that certain, like, I don't see anything with being with a thick black woman. I got a lot of backlash because I said that.
Right.
But I don't feel like I need to explain myself as to who and what I'm doing or who I'm with. Does that make sense? Because
But let me
I don't
ask
live
you,
by people. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
before you get into this, right? So
Yeah.
over there in England, do you guys have
Yeah.
oversized black women there too?
Oh yeah, there's always fat women around. There's always fat men around.
No,
You know, what I mean?
no,
There's
I
people fat.
understand.
Yeah.
There is fat, there
Yeah.
is semi-fat and there is oversized. So
Yes.
Lizzo is oversized. That's what because there is levels. Like once you hit the Lizzo level, you can no
Yeah.
longer say you're big bonded. You see,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
can no longer say that. So
Of course.
over
That one.
here in America, back in the days,
Yeah.
I remember, like, yeah, there was big bonded women, but now many, like, because, like the black women used to be able to have argument. They're like, oh, I'm big bonded,
Mm-hmm.
because, like, in fact, I'll tell you this. This is wild. When I knew this, there's a reason why I'm talking about these people. Okay. Have you ever been on a blind date? Are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Have you ever been on a blind date ever?
No, because I prefer to see. I
No,
mean,
no. Because
yeah.
because
Yeah, go on, sorry.
because the reason why I'm saying that,
Yeah.
back before, there used to be a show called Catfish. I don't know if
Yes.
you've seen that.
Vaguely, yeah.
But this catfishing does happen in real life to people.
Of course, yes.
I have been on a blind date before.
Oh yeah,
And I
how was
call
it?
it, when I say these things, people think this is just, I'm just talking. But I have seen these things in real life. In real life. So this thing that Lizzo is showing, she is being the example for other black women. And they are all joining in. They are destroying the black, quote unquote, culture. But long story short, when I went on this blind date, this woman supposedly, her name was Tiffany. But the picture that I saw, this woman is like, short, light skin, whatever. So I pull up in my car. I mean, this was back in the days,
Yeah.
So, a friend of mine introduced me, but I think it was a joke that they set me up. It was a black woman that she's like, came to my car, and she just jumped in my car. She's bigger than me. Can you believe that? And I'm not a little guy. She's like, I said, who are you? She said, I'm Tiffany. I said, you look different. She said, don't I? I said, no, you look way different. Because she was trying to tell me she gets that a lot. But long story short, I was entrapped because this woman is in my car. Eventually, I had to just go along and say, let's go to some bar. So as soon as we went there, and we were in this area, so I was very, very uncomfortable. So I tried to make a run for it. So if I go to my car, like I'm walking towards my car, she's like, oh, where are you going? And you know, these big girls, they're aggressive. She knows that I'm under duress. I'm ready to take off. You see? So eventually, what I did, I know some people are going to say, hey, Afridamus, this is mean. But what I did, I had to sneak out, run, like literally run to my car, and she was walking fast. I hopped in my car and I hit the gas so hard. I did a burn. My tires were burning. That's how crazy this is. So this is why I'm talking about this here so that people understand how serious this is.
Yeah.
This is a serious thing. And I hope people would wake up and see it. I'm not the only one seeing this because Lizzo, her fans have just told her how they feel about her. But when you said you are not into thick black women, what was the backlash?
Well, I got told that I was you know, I basically like what the word they use, they call it Becky. I like Becky's, and I like I cannot handle a thick black woman. You see what I mean? And I thought to myself, that doesn't make sense to me because what is a thick black woman? Isn't other races or isn't other people also thick? Like, you have thick women in every groups of people. Does that make sense?
No.
So to me,
DMF,
yeah,
DMF, there's a difference between thick and oversized.
of course, yes.
Okay. I just want us to make that clear.
But you see, with a lot of black women, right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually believe that when they're fat, that's thick. So that's a misconception of them thinking that they are, and because of this myth in that they've got in their minds that black women naturally have this body. I don't believe that. I believe every other
No.
race
No, this
has
is
it too.
not, no. You know Lizzo, right?
Yeah,
Lizzo is not, honestly, like, that's not her natural size.
of course, yes.
That is not her natural size. You
Hmm.
see, I can guarantee you, if you go and look at in her family pictures, right? You look
Yeah,
at like you go back and see like her grandmothers or people way before in her family lineage, you're going to see that those women prior to her, they were all regular size, like
of
regular
course.
sized women. You would see that,
Yeah.
you see? But now the question is, why do these women now feel so comfortable to a point where Lizzo is not only saying I'm sexy, she is taking her clothes off.
Yeah.
Do you
Because
think
yeah,
do
go on,
you
sorry.
think do you think that the fans are wrong for telling Lizzo about herself?
Yeah, because I think they're just trying to basically hold her
Accountable?
feelings. Yeah, not so much accountable. I think they're just trying to basically not break her heart, because some people are very reserved with their opinions, especially when it comes to people that may be in some form of an illusion.
Oh,
You know
no,
what I
no,
mean? So
no,
you
no.
don't.
What I'm saying is the
Yeah,
fans just told her that
yeah.
she is disgusting.
Oh, they told her.
Yes, they told her finally. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying here. Yeah.
that's
They
excellent.
they finally told her that she is disgusting looking.
Yes,
She shouldn't be,
I second
showing
that
her
too
body.
myself. Yes, I second that. She is disgusting.
And do you think, the wokeism that we are seeing, because the black, like I said, I don't know about England, but over here is the black women leading the woke crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because to me it seems like anytime they're thinking about destroying a part of American culture, it's like there's a
Yeah.
phone number there that says 1-800-CALL-BLACK, like rent a black or something. I
Yeah.
know KS said Adele was big. Yes, you're right, KS, until she lost the weight, and then, she started, what, in fact, when Adele lost the weight, the people turned against her. The other big girls, they turned against Adele.
Yeah, but it's so ironic when she lost the weight. The first thing that she done was to date a black man. Isn't that ironic?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, she dated a guy called Skepta.
So this
He's
is
a UK grime artist.
so this is proof that black men do not like oversized women. Would you say that?
Exactly. Yes, I definitely agree because I think people have this thing in their minds. Because you see, one thing, right? This is something I want to touch on if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Um, a lot of people think that black men are thirsty and black men will go for anything and they'll do anything, but you know I don't believe that because I grew up around a lot of black guys, I
Yeah.
should say African guys, and you know when you see an African guy with a big dirty stinking woman, whatever color she may be, right?
Mhm.
It's normally for something, it's not for nothing.
Right.
So whatever woman is fat and whatever she believes she looking sexy because a guy is with them, that's a lie. You know what I mean? There's something in it for that person. They're not just doing it because they so worship you and love you. That's a lie. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of women need to really assess and really look within themselves to really analyze exactly what they need to really focus themselves on, which is trying to fix their own selves. You know what I mean? Because men, we don't need to worry about stuff like that. Women need to worry about stuff like that. A man can be fat and have money and he'll still get the most beautiful woman he wants. And
Right.
this is reality.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
See, like for me, honestly, I know some people think I'm just picking on Lizzo and women that are her size. No, I'm just looking, even for men, I encourage people to be at a healthy weight.
Of
I
course, it's good.
encourage people, to exercise and be healthy. This is not
Yeah,
only about Lizzo, but the
of course.
reality of it is, this wokeism have turned black women into a joke completely,
Hmm.
because she is being used as the representation of black women, you see.
Yeah,
And she's not the only one. They have another one, Cardi B, but Cardi B is regular size, but she plays the part of being slutty. She's not
of
black,
course.
but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
represent her as a black woman. They
of
have,
course.
and black women accept it, you see.
That's
Because
true.
if you're popular somehow, you know I mean, I don't know, for some reason black women like to label everybody else as black. And
Exactly.
they have another one called uh uh, uh megan
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 Stallion.
Megan, the male
Yeah,
horse.
that's it. Yeah, the male host. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's another big girl. She's like a linebacker, literally. Oh, wait. Don Longdon said, but you must admit, large girls normally cook good breakfast. No, 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 no. Don, I don't know where you live, but in our part of the world here in America, what even make it worse? This is what surprises me. This is what surprises me about a lot of these big girls. They cannot cook. Oh yeah, no, KS. That's why I said she looks like a linebacker. Yes, Megan the male horse. She's not fat. This is true, but she is very bulky.
Big bone.
Yes, she's big bone.
Yes.
Yeah, she's big bone. So the crazy thing is, Lizzo was talking about she gets like toothache. Her tooth was hurting, blah blah blah. but it didn't stop her from putting that fork in her mouth. Rasmois, you said, have you seen the rumors video? Which one? Rasmois, which video are you talking about? Please drop down. Let me know what you're saying. But you see what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
Do you, because I suggested that now that the woke mob have turned against Lizzo, she's lost her black girl magic status.
Hmm.
Do you think her next, the next destination where she could find love, where somebody would go for her? I suggested Ghana. What do you think?
I don't know about Ghana, but I know that she can go on a slim fast diet. I'm coming from, and that's what I think will help her. Or she can go and see Kevin Samuels to give her some insight into what she needs to really fix about herself, because I think we all need to fix something about ourselves. Some of us need to fix our weight, some of us need to fix ourselves in terms of different aspects of things that we may
Well,
find, disturbing, so,
Kevin
I just
Samuels is not a trainer. Lizzo
yeah, it's not a trainer, but
needs a
just
trainer.
yeah, but just the way you observed it.
Hmm.
He observes it that way, but he doesn't hold back.
Right.
We're more moderate when we speak. You see what I'm saying? So, but Kevin Samuels gives it to them raw, and I think that for me is I think with him, he's like God sent in regards to him telling women, black women, what he thinks of them. Because if you and I say it, we get backlash. But if
But you
someone like
see,
him says it, sorry, go on.
no, my thing is, I don't care
Yeah,
about somebody's backlash, somebody getting their feelings hurt. If
yeah,
I sit here with Lizzo, I would tell her that, Lizzo, you have enough money. Instead of worrying about, getting naked in your videos and stuff. Yes, Ras Moise, that's the new video I'm talking about. The rumor one where she, this is the one that she got the backlash for, because I think this is what opened up the floodgates. Because in real life, to be honest, I don't really see people that are into Lizzo, because like they would like the song, but then they see her picture and the stuff she's doing. And it's not that people are turned off because she's fat. No, in America, we're used to fat people. That's normal, you know? But now, when you try to force this fat down our throat, that's a huge chunk to swallow. Those are big rolls to swallow. So, like, I have no problem, saying what I'm saying, even in front of Lizzo, because I would be helping her. The problem is she has an addiction. She has food addiction. Do you agree to that?
can you can you repeat that, please? Sorry.
I said she has food addiction, because people can be addicted to food. They just don't
Yeah,
see that. They don't think it's really a problem. But you can be addicted to anything.
yeah, of
And
course, yeah.
and food addiction is one of the addictions that people overlook.
I don't. I mean, I don't know her personally to say she's got food addiction, but I know that she needs to
Okay,
lose
wait,
weight.
wait, 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 wait.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures I posted
Oh
in
yeah,
the front?
100%. I've seen it
So,
all with the revealing stuff she's wearing. It's crazy.
okay, let me humor me. How do you think she got to that size?
By overeating, of course, and by, I don't know, indulging in things she should not be partaking in.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, that she has this, the food addiction that is going on. And also the system that we have here, other black women are encouraging Lizzo, but what they don't realize is she is representing all of them. She's representing all of them as a
And I
whole.
another thing I wanted to add as well is that when it comes to black women, you see, when you try to, anytime you try to say something to maybe help in regards to maybe something may be wrong about someone, and you say something, when it comes to the black community in general, we tend to then attack the person for trying to correct the person that's in the wrong. And this is a trend that if you look through our history, every time someone tries to speak out, such as what you're doing now, you're talking now, you're not talking out to obviously destroy her as a human being or as a person. You're talking out for her betterment in regards to maybe someone could be listening to what we're talking about right now
Right,
and actually understanding what we're saying, that it's not about us making fun of her, but it's about her actually getting help and
right,
maybe hearing what we're saying and thinking, I want to get help. But then people take it as an, oh, how dare you? Who do you think you are? You guys sitting there and talking about and judging her and all this stuff. And this is why she ended up that way, because
right.
a lot of the people in her family most probably did not tell her, you know what, you need to go to the gym, get some nutriments or whatever you need to do, and some vitamins or whatever. Have a good diet. You know what I mean? These things don't get taught in African, I should say, African and black society, because you you and I know in Africa, most people wake up and eat at dinner. They should be eating in the evening, or eat in the morning.
Right.
Just as obviously in America, the food, the food that has been sold, like the burgers and the fries, and and everything is maybe extra sized. I, I don't know for America. I mean, how the burgers are, but I've been told that the burgers are like extra large and stuff like that. Over here, you can only get a large. It can't be extra large. You see what I'm saying? So, this is stuff that I think like it, it needs to be implemented in regards to society, how society has been
Well,
given things, and then people just take, and then but by them taking, they're just abusing it, and then that abuse shows on their body, and it becomes a problem for them later on. And that's where a lot of, like, if you check with the black community, a lot of people have got diabetes, they've got high blood pressure, there's a lot of heart diseases and stuff like that. And this is the problem with a lot of I should say the black community. People don't know about dieting. They don't know what they should eat and what they should not eat, at what time they should eat it. And this is what the problem is. For
yeah,
me, I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat and stuff like that. So, this is stuff I chose to do myself. I don't drink soft drinks, anything fizzy, I will not have. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about self-discipline. So, and this is something that if you're not born around stuff like that, like for example, you go to the gym, right? And you watch your diet as to what you eat. You know what I mean? You
hmm
you, you know what to eat because you've disciplined yourself to be this way. But there
right.
are others that are very ignorant, that because they can't cook, because like, I remember back in the days when everyone knew how to cook. As a man, I know how to cook. I'm sure you know how to cook, but most
No,
women these days don't know how to cook.
I'm a professional cook. Let me tell you
There you
something.
have it right there. Same as me right
I
here.
have. Let me tell you. I am yet to meet a woman that can cook better than me, and this is no joke.
Same as me.
I am yet to run into a woman
Not saying that my wife can't cook. My wife
because
cooks, but you know what I mean? I know I'm the shit.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the fact of the matter is, I'm glad you mentioned all the ailments that go with being overweight, because if you look at it, it is a spiritual battle. If you look at Lizzo's behavior, what she's dealing with, she's battling some real demons. This is why they are able to use her. I mean, she's willing to participate, you know, um, in her own destruction, and I think she's indulging in food to combat her demons, that she's dealing with right now. And this is why when I saw that video of her, you know, crying, you know, she's crying for help, but coming out crying to the people, that is not gonna help her. From at this point, she has to take a deep look at herself, and anyone that's also at, like Lizzo, you should take a deep look at yourself and understand the type of demons you are battling. Because when you tell somebody that, you know, they have food addiction, you know, they are not going to accept it. They don't believe that that is a possibility. You know, there are some people who, do you know, they would wake up at night, you know, and they would be walking, you know, they would walk and eat in their sleep. That's how addicted they are, you know, to food. And that is very common amongst women in America. For some reason, you could read about these journals and see exactly what is there. But now you look at media. Media is not promoting, you know, what would truly empower the women and give them, you know, self-esteem and self-respect. Because if you look at Lizzo, you know, she's definitely, she has a beautiful face. You see, she has a beautiful face. So the only thing she has to do is, you know, start fasting and lose that weight, because it's killing her. If people are not telling her that, you know, they are lying to her. They are telling her that she is sexy, she is in good, you know, she's in good shape. So she's going out there making a fool of herself. And finally, you know, the people that were pretending to support her, because there is no way in real life, because the people that are writing online, there is no way that they would support that. Obviously, you could tell with her stardom status and who she is, she cannot find anyone. She can't find any takers. She cannot find any takers despite how popular she is, despite how much money she has. And that is a sad situation, because her focus is, you know, on all the wrong things. She thinks this is what people are gonna go for. The people that are advising her, they are advising her wrong, completely wrong. And I know there's going to be people that are, you know, some are probably watching me, they're probably in Lizzo's situation, or they are headed for that disaster. If you're somebody like that, it's never too late to turn this around. You can start fasting, you know, drink lots of water, and exercise. I'm not saying starve yourself, but you can do all these right things and check yourself and understand what type of battles you have with yourself spiritually, because it has everything to do with that. Because there's no way that that is not a demonic thing happening within somebody for them to be able to eat themselves to death, because that's what this is. And I know after the fans turned against her, I'm not sure, but I'm just guessing, she probably went back, you know, and ate herself to death, pretty much, before she came out and cried. And this is not the first time that she's cried. It's always the men, us men, that help talk about this. You know, you would never see other black women correcting, you know, people like Lizzo, or you know, they might have friends that are like a Lizzo. But for somebody to do that, you would have to be able to not be selfish and look beyond yourself. You have to stand up for what is right. You see? Because if you don't stand up for what is right, you would always fall for the wrong thing. This is why this woke thing, you know, seems to work so easily on black women, especially. On black women, especially. This is why they are putting Lizzo in front of you so that you can take that in. I mean, I don't know the conditions in the UK, but you said you guys have the same situation there too, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing here. You know, like you see women, you know, like drinking even lagers. You know, because I don't. I mean, to see a woman drinking lager is something that you know that that's just not right. So stuff like that, they do stuff like that, and then you see them burping like how a man will burp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you think to yourself, look at that, the nerve. You know, but this is what they do over here. You know what I mean? And it's always been like this. You know, and you see some of them are fat and they're dressed like this lazy character you're talking about. You know, they're loud mouth and they'll speak in a certain way. You know what I mean? So this is how this has always been. But you know, I think since I can't, I, sh- I should say maybe since maybe 2010, I noticed
Correct.
a change in people wanting to go to the gym. But I see, obviously, from that time, I saw more guys in the gym. I didn't see a lot more women. I saw more guys in the gym when it comes to the UK anyway. But, you know, I don't know about now how it is because, I mean, I've been in Africa and I came back. So I don't know how many people are going to the gyms now. So I can't really confirm that. But from what I see when I'm out, I mean, you have obese women. Most people need to go to the gym anyway because there may be some excess fat somewhere, somehow, you know what I mean? So this is something, as I said, we all need to do some soul searching, you know, and just fix whatever we need to fix, you know? And I'm included too. I'm not exempt,
Well, that's
but
the
that's how
thing.
it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time I come here, I talk about stuff. I mean, for example, yesterday the topic I was talking about here, and a couple of people they really honestly believe that I was picking on that woman. But the problem is there's no longer shame. Like a lot of these women, they have completely lost sense of shame. So we as a people, we need to bring shame back, plain and simple. Shame should return back, to the people so that we can have a better society. Because I've seen people even like in the comment section. For example, there was a couple of guys. They're like, "Oh, you're just picking on these women," But it's not about picking on somebody. It's about what I'm seeing right in front of me. So how do you expect to come out and display things like this in front of us and not expect people to have anything to say about it? Because over here in America, white people cannot criticize this. You know that, right?
Of course, it can't.
Yeah, because if white people
They'll
criticize
come
it,
across as racist.
exactly. So you can see why black women have gone so far in the bottom, because definitely black men can't say anything to them at all. So this is why I'm saying it is the downfall of what they call the culture, whatever that is. Because what I know is there's American culture or other culture. So you can create your own culture, be a part of, because the woke culture, it is what's encouraging this type of behaviors. Let's see what Rasmus said. Fatness and sluttiness is widely acceptable in the West. I don't I don't fat shame or slut shame or slut don't oh yeah. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's the type of phrases they use. They say, "Oh," because when you speak on it, they would say you're slut shaming or fat shaming them. But this same group of people have no problem, shaming a man. They have no problem shaming men. You constantly hear them, talking bad about men. So this is why I am encouraging every man,
You know,
to stop acting like their mama, and
yeah,
or stop
and
acting like a
tell the
beta,
truth.
and tell
Yeah,
the truth.
yeah. You know what really makes me laugh about this so-called modern women these days?
Hmm.
You see, when someone is wearing makeup, fake eyelashes, lipstick, everything, that their hair is fake, and then they're sitting there and being a hypocrite and talking about another person.
Yes.
That's the biggest bigot, the biggest
Well,
deceiver. You know,
well,
because there's
that's the
there's
Jezebel. That's the Jezebel behavior. You
of
know,
course,
you know this.
100%.
These things that people are talking about. They think, okay, this guy is here just beating down on us, but This is nothing new.
Yes,
Like people have fallen from grace. When I say fallen from grace, meaning they've people have fallen away from God a long time ago. And when they fall from God, you start facing disasters. First, you go into self-destruction. And that self-destruction takes lots of different forms. Oh, Afridamus is hateful. Sure. Yeah, we have a guy here who thinks I'm hateful. That's the type of stuff that we talk about. That's probably um, a beta male sitting next to his oversized woman, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's
she's
catching feelings.
yeah, but we cannot worry about all that. I
No, we
just wanted
can't.
to come here and give you guys a quick synopsis on what is going on with Lizzo, because as you know, there's lots of things going on around us, especially today. I mean, we're seeing, what's going on in Haiti. I know some people be like, oh man, that's what we should be worrying about instead of Lizzo. But Lizzo she's a symptom of a larger group. This is why, like, anytime I tackle topics, when I use a video or use somebody as the example, technically the video is not even about that person, but that person is representing a behavior of a group. There are people who really, you know like, who behave like that. And sometimes, because you've been around something for so long, certain behavior for so long, you don't even think you're doing wrong until somebody actually point it out. You see? So this is why I point these things out. It doesn't matter who gets upset. Even if it saves one individual, I'm satisfied. I'm happy with it.
Me
That's
too.
what, yeah, even if one person, what I'm saying here, if this gets even one single person to reflect and say, oh man, what the media is putting in front of me, this is not the right thing, because they make this seem like so glamorous. Like in real life, people are not gonna go for this. But why are they accepting it with Lizzo? Is because of the hype that they put around her. But this woman, is killing herself. She's eating herself to death, and there is tons of women like that. Let's see here. Rasmoy says, now that the Taliban is running Afghanistan, modern women in the West should be happy. They are not living in Islamic country. Takes the quote. Literally. Yeah. Yeah. I see that the Taliban finally took Kabul. That's gonna be a whole another different topic, because just in case people are not paying attention about what is going on. Because I've heard some people say, oh, that is just the example of America falling. No, no, no. America is not falling. Okay? Right now, we have a beta in the White House pretending to be in charge until our real president returns. That's what is going on. But people must pay attention and understand that one thing is for sure, just in case people are not paying attention to what is going on, there's a big change happening in the world. People are waking up. More and more people are waking up. So if anyone is blind to what they are seeing, you better wake up before it gets too late, because you know the power is shifting. The world, the people are fighting against globalism. So this Kabul fall, that's one example. You know the fall of Kabul, you know what that signifies? I know people are gonna say it is America that fell. No, 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 no. That is an example of globalism. You know, that is their first loss that they are taking, because that war in Afghanistan, they just say it's America's war, but it's not America's war. It is the globalists, because you have England, the UK, they have the UK military there, right? They have Australia, they have European military there. They have several other ones there. So it's not an American war. It is the beginning of the fall. The people want to go back to their cultural traditions. There's a whole lot of things even happening here within the United States that people, mainstream media is not telling people about. Just like this Afghanistan thing. I knew that the Talibans, I knew that the Talibans were gonna take over, because I follow certain news sites that give this, you know, like 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I knew that the Talibans were gonna take Kabul. I knew about it because I listened to a news source that gave me this news. But 3 days ago, go back 3 days ago and go listen to what mainstream media was saying about Afghanistan. They said it's not possible. They have 300,000 soldiers who are well trained. The Taliban would never take over. Few days later, today the Taliban are in charge. So people that are saying that things are not gonna change, they talk about black girl power or girl power. All that thing is about to change. So this is why any woman that truly want to see themselves as a woman, they better start acting like one. Seriously. All this stuff talking about, if men tell you the truth or other people tell you the truth, they are shaming you. Oh, you're fat shaming me. You're slut shaming me. We are supposed to shame you for these things. I mean, how are you going to be a slut and tell people that they cannot slut shame you? And by the way, men, men that men turn the women into slut because they are the slut makers. You have the sluts and the slut makers. You see? So it's not just, a one-way thing. Because I know some people are going to come back and try to say, oh, what about the men? What about them? You see? So it is a message to everybody. I know sometimes it's infused, with light jokes so people can take it in easily. But you have to wake up and smell the coffee and see what is coming down the pipeline. Because all this fat stuff, all this slut stuff, this is all coming to an end. Because the world, people are going back to their cultural and traditional ways. I don't know if you've seen that sign as well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and
Yeah.
clear.
Have you noticed that the world is shifting back to national boundaries? Because you see, in the United States, right? Why do you think the woke mob, you know, and all the crazy people went against, our real president? Because he said America first. Okay? Other
Yeah.
countries are saying their country first. What do you think in the next few, I don't even know, like 2 3 years time, what do you think is going to be happening in the world? Because the Lizzos of the world, they are already crashing and burning. They had black women they sent to the Olympics. They tried to do their woke stuff. They failed completely. You even have white women who are woke, right? People are turning their backs on them. You see, even the United States soccer, the female soccer team, right? When they got beat up by Sweden 3-0, real Americans celebrated it. Why would they celebrate, seeing an American team lose? Is because those people turned their back on the American nation. So many more women are showing themselves as traitors. They are not, because they've already been traitors to the men. They've taken the children from the men. They became
Yeah.
oversized.
Yeah.
That was their first crime. And then now the destruction to their own body, and now they've become traitors to their own country. So this is why I'm here to tell you guys the truth, because what is coming down the pipeline, if people don't wake up, is gonna find you in a shocking state, and you're not gonna survive it. You can try to fight. I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm here to put the information for those who are willing to take it in, plain and simple. You can laugh about it or see it as a message that is hateful, as some would call it, but I know when they say that, then they are talking about how much truth I'm telling them. Because you see, one thing, all of us, every human being knows what the truth is. Yes, it might escape you because of the environment you are in, or the people that you are around. They influence you, to pick up some bad habits. Because life, like when people talk about habits, you know, um, to be fat or to be whatever that is negative, it all stems from your daily habits. That's what it's about. And I know many people are refusing to change. And especially with women, they don't like to change. Like to accept the truth. They're not gonna accept the truth.
I think what really changed everything for women is when, excuse my language from what I'm about to say, right?
Oh,
Is when
don't
is
worry.
when is when women placed emphasis on pussy, right?
Yeah,
Because before, if you look back in the day, women had more respect for like how they looked in terms of presentation.
right.
They took care of how they presented themselves to the world or to people. You know what I mean? They had more elegance about
Right.
themselves, and they knew how to speak,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and not to be swearing every minute and not to be saying things that they don't need to say. Women stood out for the community,
Right.
in a way that it just resonated with people because they saw that that woman had class, she got dignity, she got respect for herself. So it made sense. But
Mm-hmm.
you see, when you've got an era of this sort where, you've got bad bitches and you've got the so-called, I should say, Nicki Minaj and all this other people, you see, what really changed everything was the 90s, because the 90s, that's when Foxy Brown came out with what's the then think what's her name, Little Kim came out, and they were talking about Il Nana and this, I mean, this what messed up everything.
Yeah, but
You know?
you see, again, those people, like we cannot, for me, if you look at it, even those people, even though they are popular, even Lizzo, all that, she's just the example. But we like I cannot blame other people's behavior on them. You see, they are
Of
just
course,
an
yes,
example of what society have
they
become.
are, they are. But
You know,
I'm talking, but I'm talking from the point of view of
mhm.
a man that grew up in the 90s, and I saw, for example, I was influenced by gangster rap. I like gangster rap. Gangster rap at that time sounded good to me. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But before then, you had more the conscious type of raps, which was more productive in terms of putting education in your mind for you to want to learn, to want to know about self. You know what I mean? Self discipline for yourself, family, and everything else. And then obviously that's when the gangster rap first came in
I
and
did not,
messed up the
I
way.
did not, I did not listen to gangster rap. I mean,
Okay, well,
I listen to country music,
wow,
country
okay,
music,
like
and
Bruce Stingsbro, whatever his name is.
no, you know who Kenny Rogers is?
Yeah, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton or
Dolly
whatever.
Parton.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I know that. Yes, of
yeah.
course.
I didn't even know who Tupac was until he was dead. That's when
Are
I
you
heard
for
about.
real?
Yeah, I didn't even know Tupac existed or Biggie Smalls. So that's why I said it's not like the culture, because I didn't like I've seen my friends watching that, but I was never into that because
Okay.
like there was not like that connection. So I see what you're saying. More, I'm looking at it like what society have become, how people have fallen away from
Yeah,
God, you see? Because
of course. Yeah,
because the breakdown of social morality. And I also did listen to a lot of reggae, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, uh
yes.
yeah, Sizzla
Lucky
Kalonji,
Dube.
Lucky Dube. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
listened to, but I was never until I mean, I did eventually. I was listening to 50 Cents. In fact,
yeah.
I used to dress like 50 Cents at one point. I would,
Wow.
yeah, I would wear two watches. So I've gone through all that stage, you see. But
Yeah,
that was just a phase in life, right? I never
of course.
took it that far. But if you look at it, what is going on with like parents today, for example, before you would have parents correcting their children.
But the state has taken the power away from the
Yes,
parents. I mean,
yes.
in this country, you can't hit your child. You know, back in the day, that was discipline. I remember my mom would take the kitchen I don't know, like wooden spoon and conk me in my head of it and beat me. You know, like, and that was discipline for me. It made me harden. You know, I don't have no ill feelings against those beatings because those beatings definitely taught me some sense. You see what I mean? But nowadays, these young kids these days, you can't teach them. As soon as you hit them, they're too soft. You know what I mean?
Well,
They're not
well,
built the same. You know what I mean? They're just too soft.
well. The thing is, right? For example, what Rasmoy said. Rasmoy, that would be a great idea to bring the Soninke Empire back. But um, what I'm saying, I understand what you're saying. Yes, the state have taken part in it, and like even Lizzo is a part of that product where she's also playing a role, you see, because what is her role is to help brainwash the coming generation. Because here in America, I'm sure in England they have the same thing. They have what they call critical race theory. Do you guys have the same thing?
Yeah, similar.
So if you look at it, I'm glad you reminded me of this. I hope parents are listening to me. If you have a child, a school age child, what I'm about to say, I want you to pay close attention to this and know exactly what is going on with your child in school, because the role of the teacher is to teach your kid math, English, and science, whatever. But these teachers are teaching kids, they're trying to put ideologies in their head, because if you look at it in America, right? For example, I'll give you an example. Why do you think mostly immigrants come to America and do better than native people that are here, people who are born and raised here? Why
Should
do you
I
think?
answer that?
Yeah, go for it. Why do you think that is?
It's because we come with an agenda, and the
No,
agenda
no,
is
no, it's not. It's not only that. Yes, we have an agenda, but
not.
if you look at like this critical race theory, what is
Yeah,
doing is dumbing down. For example, here in America, if you allow your kids to go through that, like they are dumbing down children
of
right
course,
now
yes,
in the United States as we
yeah,
speak, as we
yes,
speak. Okay,
yeah.
this they have they this critical race theory people, they have brought back segregation. So imagine, they are telling your kid that, like being on time, right? They said being on time is white supremacy. So they're teaching
Yeah,
your kid, that's really dumb. They're telling your kid that, showing up on time to work, which is what is expected of them, um, is being a white supremacist. Like they're telling them that this is a bad thing. They are saying that math is racist. So it's like at some point, you as a parent, for example, that is child abuse. Imagine you're walking in the mall, right? You're
yeah.
walking with your child, and then somebody comes up, and try to force some type of idea. Let's say they're showing your kid a pornographic material
Yeah.
right in front of you. Would you accept that?
No, I wouldn't accept that. That's why I always push for homeschooling.
Yes, homeschooling is good nowadays, because
Yeah,
so if you look at it, right, they are taking these children, they are putting them in this critical race theory classes. They're telling them math is racist, being on time is racist, all white people are racist. Even they are destroying white children. They are telling white children that they are inherently evil because of the sins of their quote unquote
forefathers.
forefathers, right?
Yeah,
And they're telling black kids that, they are less than because, so for me, I taught my son, right? Not that long ago, my son was in the class, because at one point they were doing it through the computer online when
yeah,
they locked the place down. So
yeah.
there was a woke teacher, a woke white teacher, with the blue hair, who is supposed to be teaching the children English. But instead of talking about English class, she was trying to force her ideology down this kid's throat. But it is a parent's responsibility to get your children mentally ready for these things before they encounter it. So I was able to teach my son. I say, anytime these things, somebody start saying this, correct them and let them know, look, I'm here to learn about English or math or whatever subject that is. And my son told her, he said, look, I'm here because she was talking about black people are oppressed, trying to act like she's helping. And my son corrected her. My son said, I am not here for that. I'm not oppressed. I'm here to learn English. So if you don't want to teach English, I'm going to click off. And the teacher, got upset and tried to flip it on a little boy. Imagine a grown woman. She tried to flip it and started talking about, okay, fine, she's not going to talk about black people, but she wants to talk about women being oppressed. And my son told her, look, I can just have my father join this conversation. But she did not, thank God she did not take that, that offer. But I'm saying, imagine, right? They are teaching the children all these things, and then many parents, they raise their children in front of television. They are sitting there watching Lizzo showing, dress, taking off her clothes. They are promoting obesity. You know, like they are warping the what is real and what is not real. They are changing the reality of a child. You see, because when you put your kid in front of that over time, it's gonna have an effect on their thinking. So many parents, they just send their kids to the school and they don't follow up. So this is why, like, mostly immigrant parents that come to America, immigrants do well because you we have not gone through this critical race theory thing. And when I hear about the things they say, I have no problem letting them know that this is dumb. Do you know, in my child, in his school, right? Even they try to have him go give a speech to be like, they said, Martin Luther King Day. They want him, because he was the only black kid in the class. They want him to, quote unquote, because he's black, he has to, they want him to do it. They gave him this paper, and my son told me, he's like, I don't want to do it. I said, don't do it. And I didn't even put this in his head. He told the teacher, he said, look, he said, that's not my history. He said, my father, we are from Africa. He said, this is not our history. I'm, like, pick somebody else. So these are the type of things that you have to teach. People have to teach their kids to be normal, because if not, they are trying to shame you, saying that, oh, they want to put everybody in a group. And if you look at Lizzo, I can tell that's what Lizzo is suffering from. It's not only her, it's so many other people who went through this. I'm not saying this to say I'm feeling sorry for them or whatsoever, because I'm not God. I don't want to play God. But I'm shining light on it so that people can see exactly the type of games that is being played on your own children. You look at Little Nas X. Little Nas X, they dressed, he's like, they dressed him like a woman.
He's a
Okay?
demon.
Yeah. Oh, you know who that is, right?
I know exactly who that is. He's a demon, that guy.
So
And
if
you
you
know,
ask
you know,
yourself, how did he become that way? You have to look at, they had to do so much to him, probably as a child. He has to go through this CRT. Maybe you look at, his mother, or whoever was in charge of him, they did not protect him, from all this.
can
Because
I
now, oh,
can
go
I
ahead.
can I add a story to that one that you're just talking about?
Go.
About 6 years ago, yeah, I had a friend. He was a social service kind of guy. He was one of those guys. That's what his job role was, and he looks after kids. And it's ironic that we're talking about little Nas X. The story I'm about to tell is about, this friend of mine that used to look after a bunch of kids, right? And he told me a story that was sickening to me. I mean, I personally found it very sickening, because I couldn't believe that this is actually taking place. So the story goes a little something like this. My friend, he's someone that most of the time when these kids have issues, he's going to office and the kids will come. He's not a psychiatrist or whatever. He's someone that will just have the time to speak to these kids. Now, this kid in question, He's I think he was 14 years old at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a young black guy. And he comes to the office, and he's obviously speaking to my mate, which is my friend. And it's obviously my mate's asking him, so how was your weekend? What did you get up to this weekend? And then he said he went out to West End. West End over here is like downtown for you guys in the States, right?
Right.
So he tells my friend that he goes to West End, and my friend goes, but you're too young to go to West End. Why would you go down there? He goes, oh, I had sex with four different men. This is a 14-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it. This was in 2016. I had this conversation with this friend of mine, and he goes that this is what he sees, and some of the guys like this are young boys that would want to wear dresses. Would want to wear like skirts. This is happening here too. This is not just in America. This stuff is happening here too.
Oh,
And so I was very
I know. One thing I've seen things about England. You
yeah,
guys over there is way. You guys are beyond woke over there. The people, because what they show, you
yeah,
know. But if you look at it, is from the parents themselves, because I
it's
think
true.
many parents, they don't think that they have the voice to stand up to this. They don't think they have the voice to know to say no. Do you know how many times I had to go to the schools and and speak against the things that they are doing? I have
Yeah, of
done it
course.
several times,
But this,
several times.
but here, if you try to even speak against, like how you're a straight man and you want to maybe voice your own opinions about what you believe things should be, just like gay people can voice their opinion. As soon as you voice your opinion, I've lost certain contracts because of I basically voiced my opinion and said, someone asked me, what do you think about gay people? I did not really think about what I was saying. And
Mhm.
I said to the person, well, as long as my child don't become gay, I'm all right. You know what I mean? I'm fine with whoever's been gay. That's the only statement I made, and I lost the contract because of that.
Yeah,
So
well,
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's the same thing in America, but that's the thing. This is why morality, strong morality comes to play, because you cannot love other things more than your own child, or more than God, because the reality of it is, you know um people, they are literally, it is child abuse. Like they are, you're being assaulted. Like your child is being assaulted, and because think about it, right?
Yeah,
Somebody is telling your child that, hey, the way your father is raising you, you should be ashamed to be like your father. And you, the father, you have to accept it. Like, not that you're going around saying, hey, you guys cannot live the way you want to live. They want to be able to put that in your child's head. But this is not their child, this is your child. You have the God-given right to teach your child, what is right, from wrong. And and like, to say, if you have a lifestyle that you believe this lifestyle is proper, you have no problem with it, hey, by all means, continue to live that lifestyle. But now, when you want to impose that on somebody else's child, that
yeah. Then
should
it's a
always
problem.
it should always be a problem.
Of
But
course.
if you notice, I'm sure they did this in England too. In America, you know, um, especially with in the black community, majority of the children are from single, single moms, single mother homes. But now that's becoming more common even among whites, and so this is why we're seeing so many effeminized men, you know
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
effeminized men and over masculated women. Have you seen
Yeah.
how aggressive these women have become?
I know it's crazy. Every time you hear a woman talk now, there's so much swearing. It's unbelievable. The amount of swearing is just it's like, I just feel sorry for people that have to try and look for a woman, because imagine having to try to find a date, and then the
Never
woman is
look
just
for a
swearing,
woman.
swearing, swearing. It's
Never,
crazy.
never, never look for a woman.
Well,
It's
I
a
don't, but I'm
no,
just saying.
no.
It's
I'm not
much,
saying. I'm not saying
yeah,
you. I'm just
yeah.
saying in general.
In general, yeah,
In general, never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever look
yeah,
for a woman,
yeah,
because if you make that a mission
yeah.
that
It
you're
will
going to
never
look
happen.
for a woman, no, oh, it will happen, but you would find you a Jezebel. She's going to send you to hell.
Straight.
Yeah, she's going to send you straight to hell.
Yes.
That's the truth. You see, so when we look at what is happening, this starts from a long line, from a long time ago when these kids are young. Because if you look at what we're seeing today, like the examples of the people that we're talking about, like somebody like Lizzo, if you look deep, deep down, obviously she's a talented woman, but what is going on inside her head and mind for her to behave like she's behaving? Something happened in her upbringing, and that is very common in America, because it's not normal for even men not to have shame. It's not normal. It is not normal. Oh, I see. Rasmoy said Little Nas X should have a concert in one of the Hausa states in northern Nigeria. Oh boy. Rasmoy, I see you have so much love for Little Nas X. I, I, I don't know if that concert is gonna go well if he if he tries to go have a concert there. I
I
don't
know for
think.
a fact, right? If he tries to do it in Ghana, he won't come out alive. Guaranteed.
Oh,
The last.
speaking of which, right?
Mhm.
There are people who, even some of these people, I've heard, uh, um, like your friend, UN and others.
He's
They
not my friend.
okay. I heard him, kind of touch on kind of, something along what we are saying here. But
Okay.
then he made this statement. He said, people think people think that this is not a problem in Africa, but it is an African problem. He said they have this in Africa. Do you buy that?
Okay. Before I answer that question, I'm gonna say a few things. You see, there are some people in this world, yeah, Mr. Afridamus, right,
Mhm,
that are just out to just, as I said, cause turbulence, right?
mhm.
And if you waste your energy even in entertaining their foolishness, right, you then become like just like them. Now, you see, when I hear stuff from this said person you just mentioned, right,
Mhm.
there's always an agenda for whatever the person does. He's one of those people that you see with me. I study certain people. They think that they're clever, but I watch them from afar, and I'll just keep on watching you, and I'll study you. I'll watch every one of your videos. I'll watch how you conduct yourself with people, and I'll just study how you do things because I know that you're not genuine. And once I start to decipher the fact that you're not genuine, everything that you do, I will know how to go about dealing with you if I ever engage with you. Now, I'm going to answer your question. What he said to what he said in this video, right? It's like it doesn't make sense. Yes, of course, there are some people in Africa that choose to want to be gay. That is not incorrect. But what's incorrect about him insinuating or making such a statement is that Africans don't accept these kind of ways of doing things.
Right.
African culture does not sustain this lifestyle because you know the West will come in, for example, right? This is how the West is able to implement these, or I should say, try to impose these Western ways of doing things onto African countries, right? Is that what they'll do? For example, your president will go to Europe, or to say, will come to Europe and ask for funding, right? For something, right? What the West will do is tell your president that, okay, we'll give you the money, but we want you to allow same-sex marriage and gay people in your country. Now, a lot of these African countries obviously are not able to say no. So a lot of the leaders, I don't know about all of them, but some of them have already accepted it, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
Indirectly.
Yeah, but it's not. There's is except maybe South Africa. Is there any other country in Africa allowing that? Because I know the
Nah,
Gambian
they're not.
president was.
Yeah,
They invited him first when he was new. He went to Chatham House,
yeah,
and the first thing I watched it, Tony Blair. You know, that's the first thing they propose. And
yeah.
so Gambian people watch it. They talked about it, and the Gambian people right away gave a warning. They said, if he dare, because I know in Gambia, if he says that it's over for him, that's a fact.
Of course. Even
Yeah.
even even in Ghana, just about I think a couple of months ago, they did had a gay conference, right, in some
Mm.
house, right, and someone got a whiff of what's going on, and they called the police. They went down to that house. They ripped everything apart. The police arrested all of them, and they told them we don't want this in Ghana. So, this is just, I can speak for Ghana and say this is just an indication. But saying that, when I was in Ghana and I lived there for the long period of time I lived there for my wife, we went to the shopping mall, right? It's called Accra Mall. And my wife went to go and buy makeup. So we've gone to the makeup shop. At the counter, I see this guy, and he was really feminine. He reminded me of Mr. Uganda, to be actually to be frank with you. And he had this feminine energy about him, very low frequency. You know what I mean? And he had on the makeup and all this stuff, and obviously you can tell that the man is obviously gay, of course. You know what I mean? From but yeah. So I mean, I've come across people that have got feminine mannerisms, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say that I actually saw someone holding hands because the society will not permit that to take place. Someone will do something about it. So
Right.
it's not something that you can go to Africa and just freely, just express your gay rights and think that you can do your LGBTCQD, whatever it is that you want to do. That's not going to wash over there. You see what I'm saying? So Africa does not. So whatever statement, coming back to that, this person that made such statements, some people do things because of subscribers, because of viewers, and when you mention UN, right? UN is a man, he likes to create, to provoke situations, right? If you look at all his videos, it's all about provoking. It's nothing to do with motivation. It's nothing to do with embetterment. It's always about provoking negative energy. You know what I mean? And this is what he does. And if people don't speak out about YouTubers that would come on and be doing these things and be promoting all these negative things, and every minute, oh, this is happening. I mean, why are you so focused in Africa? Why, you know, the question I like to ask him, why is your focus in, why do you focus in Jamaica?
Wait a minute. You know what? Now that you said this made, I'm sitting here thinking. Do you even think like this back to Africa movement? Do you think this is a setup? Like there's an agenda behind to push, you know, some of this lifestyle, like it's like encouraging black Westerners from England and America, because they, in America for sure, in the black community, in the black culture, this is accepted. Not everyone accepts it, but it is normal, like, for somebody to live like that amongst them. But in Africa, they've tried all kind of ways, especially West Africa. Even Kenya is not working. So
Yeah.
when you were saying this, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Do you think there is a possibility um, they want to use to try to convince Africans to say, okay, they look like these same people, they look alike like these people, so
Yeah.
that they can infiltrate to create this movement
Of
where
course.
they
I
would
mean,
bring this culture into Africa.
of course. I mean, you can see the way they're all trying to come to Africa, and it's like it's a pandemic for them for them to make that move to Africa. And you'll know, it's like, for example, in Gambia, you have people going to the shop and trying to impose their Western mentality
Right,
on how, I want meat. How can the meat be rotten? This and that and that. Remember, the people have been living there before you got there. Now
right,
you're in Africa, you can buy fresh. You can go to, you and I know, in Africa you can go and buy fresh chicken that's still alive, and you can do whatever you're doing when you get home. You see what I'm saying? So you don't need to go and argue with someone else. But these people are going there and trying to impose their Western mentality onto the Africans that are over there. And this is the mindset of people. So it's something that is plain to be seen that there is some form of an agenda. You know what I mean? To make it, because remember, if people from the West goes back there, they can now start to speak out and be part of the community and be able to impose certain, I should say, certain characteristics in terms of, saying that, well, we want this and we want that. And you've already seen them doing it already. As I said, they
right.
like to speak out. They like to have this energy about them, as if they're trying to be more sensible than the Africans that are already there. They want to come in and play as if they're more clever. I mean, this is their agenda. And I think, for me, I'll even go further to say this. I think that a lot of the diasporans that are going back
You mean the
are actually,
black repatriation?
yes, I believe some of them are holding grudges.
Like when you
I
say
believe.
grudges, elaborate on that.
Okay, when I say grudges, what I'm talking about, right? And this may be a conspiracy or whatever, yeah, but this is the way I see it, right? When I say grudges, what I mean by that is this. If you found out, right, that someone gave away or sold your people to people that now you turn around and say, I don't like those people, right? What would you do?
Um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like
You see,
even I mean
you
to
see,
be honest, okay, for example, let's say the equivalence would be like colonialism, right?
yeah,
I have no feelings about it. In fact, there is I look at what the advantages of colonialism is than the disadvantages, to be quite honest. So
yeah.
yeah.
This is the way I see it. So for me, it's like I just feel because when you speak to a lot of these people, they seem to have a lot of grudges against us. A lot of hate against us. So
Yeah,
for
but
me,
the hate, do you think the center of the hate is like, is it like the hate, like the person is already hateful, not just towards Africans, because you can see even the response about white people, Chinese people, Indian, Arab, like, I mean, I would say they even hate other black people, right? But my especially like the topic we are on, like you were saying some things, it just hit me, I'm like, okay, what if, because this is strange, because I know in the west,
yeah.
in I know for a fact, like, a lot of black people accept this lifestyle, whether they are part of it or not, but they accept it. It's normal, right? but
Now, but I
but
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't believe that they accept it. I believe they have to put up with it
yes, okay,
because
yeah, that's the actually, that's the right word. You're right.
yeah,
um
yeah,
yeah, I don't, yeah, I have to rephrase that. Yeah, they don't accept it, they have to put up with it.
yeah.
You're
They
right,
have to. They
because
got no choice.
yeah,
Yeah, because as soon as you speak against it, that's why I explained to you a minute ago. I lost the contract because of something like that. Just by speaking against, and it wasn't even directly speaking against it. It was just saying that if it's not my child, I don't really care. You know what I mean? And it's just me just speaking my opinion. You know what I mean? So it's like you've got to watch what you say. Otherwise, if you're in a position of you working for someone, you can lose your job. If you're in a position of, as we're speaking live now, if we're doing on Facebook, that's on your name, on your account. People can see your name and people are going to write it down. If you're trying to look for a job or try to apply for a job, they can block you from getting that job. You see what I'm saying? So this is all, done in a way that can economically break a person down.
right,
So most people are willing to bend. I'm even going to give you even a much more in-depth, story, right? Now, this is something that happened to me. Well, it didn't happen, but they tried to make it happen. When I graduated, right, the 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 course I done is a course that is mostly with, I should say, it's white dominated industry, right? So I applied for a job in the city, right? And I got the job, but when I got the job, I remember the first week. Obviously, I mean, I'm passionate about what I did at that time, and I'm breaking my back, obviously staying late and trying to make sure that the work is done. And then I think, I had 6 months contract. No, no, I was supposed to have 3 months probation period, which is just probation. And then after that, it would be like 6 months, and then every 6 months my contract would be renewed, right?
right,
But as I was there, I noticed there was one Friday, which I think was the second month I was there, and the director, who was half Chinese, half white, right? I'm standing there, and I've nearly finished doing what I was doing, right? And I'm about to leave. He calls me. He's like, "Oh, do you want a drink?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, I'm cool. I'm all right. I just, what I mean, I got my friend waiting for me. You know what I mean? He's seeing the car waiting for me outside." And he goes to me, "I've been through a lot of things. At this time, I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is this man telling me he's been through a lot of things?" and he's telling me, to get somewhere in this life, sometimes you gotta bend your back a bit. But I was thinking, what does he mean by bend my back a bit? I mean, indirectly trying to insinuate to me that if I wanna, climb up that ladder on that in that industry, I
Right.
need to basically get fucked, basically. Excuse my language. What I mean? I should bend my back just like he bent his back, indirectly telling me that basically he had to get fucked in his ass, excuse my language, and that's how he got to his position. And this is what he was trying to basically indirectly trying to how should I put it? Um
He was
coerce me.
he was grooming you.
Well, he was grooming his own kids, not me. But he was
He
trying
was trying to. Yeah. Right.
what I mean? I mean, so obviously, I knew what he was trying to do, and this was not the first time this happened to me in the industry I was in. You know, so with me, as I said, this is why when I talk, I come with a lot of experience because I've dealt with the corporate world and I've dealt with just the normal stuff. You know what I mean? There's so many of stories I'm gonna put in my books that I'm writing that people get to see that side of me that I'm talking about some deep stuff like that, which will explain the things I had to deal with. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's like you sit back and you think to yourself, wow, the stuff I had to deal with. And some of the times, like because you don't want to accept this kind of, proposition, you'll be told to, you'll be told that your contract is terminated, and that's just how it goes. You can go for an interview and you meet other black guys, what I mean, that in that firm, and they definitely suck the director's dick or something. What I mean? Seriously, this is what happens, and it is what it is, it's life, and it's your choice. You make that decision, and that decision can haunt you for the rest of your life. But I chose the high road, not the low road. You see what I'm saying? And that high road is not easy. It's a very, very hard road. Because when you have you've got dignity, you've got pride, and you choose not to bend for nothing, and you have to survive and look after your family and do stuff. I mean, things like that is not easy at all. And try to
Well, that's why
be,
I encourage every man to do your own thing.
of
Uh,
course.
because I'm glad like you sharing this story because you know maybe some young people or somebody might be going through this or facing this. You should always know there is always another option. You don't have to sell your soul. But yeah, it's very interesting, the times that we are in. But I think I'm beginning to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because especially where I came to here, um, I came to a conference, and I met a lot of good people that are waking up, people that are awake. They are seeing, what the truth is, and they are spreading that truth without fear. Because when you wake up and understand that, there is, no man has power over you, only God. You
Oh
start
yeah.
you start believing in that and standing on your morals. you know
Yeah.
um there's nothing, you know
Anyone can do. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, there's nothing more important
Yeah.
than, because like if you put God first, um because
Ada.
to be a man, right?
Yeah.
What I say, you have to love the truth. with all
Yeah.
your soul and might, without any fear. You have to speak that truth, you see? And many people have lost that touch. This is why, because for even another man to have, you know, to be able to face a man to say such a thing to you, I mean, think about that for a minute, like that's what I'm saying. They've normalized things that are not normal,
Yeah,
but
they've normalized it, but they've normalized it in a way that if for example the situation that I experienced, if I come and tell you that I have no grounds to go and get that man put in prison or to get a charge on his name
yeah,
because it will make me sound
or even make him swallow his teeth,
exactly. I have no grounds. There's not
right?
because it's the is you see like the way they'll say things. If if you don't know when you're naive, then you don't know.
Yeah, that would be like St. James said. That's sexual harassment. But it's just you know it's crazy because I see it as a spiritual battle. You know, good over evil. But
Of
for many
course,
for many people, the evil is what have overtaken their spirit. So you know therefore that's what they always show, so that's why,
yeah,
like, I talk about these things, especially because I know, like, you know in in Africa. I mean, I don't want to say Africa in general, because obviously there are places like South Africa. For some reason, I don't know, South Africa, in Africa, it seems to be the place that accepts a lot of this kind of stuff, you know. But if you're in the west part of Africa, this is very foreign to the people. So that's
of
why
course,
I asked the question. I said, wait a minute, even with this quote unquote people, back to Africa movement, you know, would people is this like an agenda where eventually this would be used like as an infiltration to try to um, introduce this um, into the system, because already there is places like in Gambia, you have black people going there, like people like Juliet, they are asking for automatic citizenship. I mean, like, honestly, DMF, think about that for a minute. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't even, they came and argued about this, right? These are
yeah,
black people from England, black people from America. Not all, but most of them. They think this is a good idea. Even for
but you
them to
see,
even wait, to even open their mouth to say
yeah, to
this,
say,
to
yeah,
say this,
yeah,
like, can you imagine the level of disrespect
I know,
to
but
even have the audacity?
yeah,
Like, a country has their own laws, but you're showing up. You think you need the citizenship because your skin color is the same as those people. Like,
yeah, but you see,
I don't think people are really seeing it. Like, when I speak on it, they think,
no, but you can't blame them for that. Do you know who I blame for that?
who?
Is the government, the Gambian government. Because, for example, do you think that they can be in Europe and be asking such questions?
Nope.
Exactly. So that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't blame, them for asking that. I blame the government because if they had gone, because, for example, in Africa, it's easy to know some form of, like an MP or whatever you call them over there. I don't know what you call them over there, but
Yeah,
it's easy
MP.
to get to know these people. I mean, from like government official, whatever you call them, because they all have money. You go and flash a bit of money in their faces, they'll take a picture with you. You see what I'm saying? Over here, you will not even see them to take pictures with them. They're not going to be next to you. Like, even before you even think about getting close to them, their bodyguards have told you move away. You see where I'm coming from? So it's just a mindset, you know. They believe they can go there. It's not even a sense of entitlement. They believe that they can get away because they've heard so many stories about corruption and all this other stuff. And we know what Africa is all about. It's
Right.
corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say it's the audacity or it's the cheek. I'll just say that it's because there is discrepancies in the system. And if there's discrepancies in the system, you can't blame those who are trying to use the discrepancies to their advantage.
Right.
You see where I'm coming from? Because they're only doing what other Africans are doing that maybe they know that have told them this what I done in my country, and they think, you know what, I can go there and do it too. That's all it is. It's not disrespect. All it is that it becomes disrespect because it's your country. They're going there and doing it. Then it becomes like, are you taking a mic now? Like, you can't go to my country and do that because I wouldn't go to Jamaica and do. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
this is this is where it becomes in a conflict where don't need to be had. But you see, I blame our leaders because our leaders allow these things to happen. I mean, like the most dumbest thing for like over here when they open like a highway, right? Do you see a president going to stand there to cut a bouquet for a highway in the
Mm-hmm.
Western country? In
Yeah.
Africa, when they build a road, the president will come and cut the bouquet for the road.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Ridiculous.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. When you look at the levels, right, of how things are done, it doesn't match. It doesn't make sense. That's why they look at us like we're imbeciles. When these westernized leaders, whoever they may be, look at us, they look at us like, why would you get your president to come and on top of it as well? Like for example, how Ghana done the year of return.
Yeah.
Why would a president invite celebrities? Do you think any Western president will invite celebrities to come to their country? No.
Well,
The celebrities will request to want to see them.
Barack Obama when he was president, he invites celebrities to the White House. I guess he parties with them. He just
No, no,
invited a
no, no.
bunch of them to his birthday party.
That's different. That's they come and like for example, if like you're having a party, you invite your friends, you invite certain celebrities that that's different. But if you're inviting them to come to your country, that's a whole different ball game because it's not for just you, then is it? It's for
Right.
you to make money. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So then it's like you're trying to rub shoulders with people that you're not familiar with.
But do you think Ghana did that? You know, they were going for the money. Like the guy president, he really don't care whether he meets them or not, but he wants to bring them as an attraction so Ghana can make money off the people that are coming.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, it works, or I should say, it goes hand in hand. If they come, they get to make money. Ghana gets to make money. It's a win-win situation, isn't it?
Right.
So obviously, it benefits either party. So for me, I just believe that he just obviously spoke to them and said to them, you know what, you guys come back. And now they're gonna build. I don't know if you know about this, but they're gonna build in in the Gold Coast. They've got, I don't know, maybe 100 acres or something. They're gonna build the Wakanda city for African Americans. Did you
Oh,
know about
really?
this?
No, I didn't
Yes.
know about. I didn't know about Wakanda City.
Yeah. They're gonna build a Wakanda city in
Oh
uh
boy,
Gold Coast for them, for the Black Americans.
amazing.
Can you believe that?
Hey, that's interesting.
Exactly. I bet you didn't know that, did you?
No, this is my first time hearing that.
Yeah. You need to check it out, man, because even I didn't know. My wife was the one that told me about it. I was quite shocked. I was like, can you be that? I thought the bloody nerve of it. Africans are there starving, and then you want to
Like
build that. You
they're
know what I mean?
gonna
That's
call it.
crazy.
They're literally gonna call it Wakanda City.
Yeah, Wakanda City, a
Is
fictional
this
movie.
like this is real?
Listen, brother, this is real. Go on the net, type in Wakanda City in Gold Coast, and it'll be there.
Man, this is why man, I learned something new every day. I know that they have like sometimes you say these things, people joke about it, but they're really happening.
Of course there is. I mean, they've got listen, they've got the drawings for it. You go on there, you'll see the drawings. It's on YouTube. They got the drawings, everything. They're gonna have hotels in there. They're gonna have like apartments for people to rent if they came from America. So it's gonna be like for the African Americans when they come there, they can stay there and have the experience of their ancestors, which I don't know how they're gonna do that, but they're gonna do that anyway. It's all about money, money, money.
Well, hey, I guess Ghana have figured out a way again to officially make money off
Yeah,
of Black Americans once again.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you watched the clips on the celebrities that went back, and
No, I just quite frankly, like when it comes to those celebrities, I really don't watch them that much because like because those people, they are so shallow. They don't really, you don't even know, you know. I don't think they talk about what is real. It's like somebody is telling them to talk about something. They are always promoting something. So it's like
no,
you
no,
don't,
I'm not.
you don't.
I'm not even talking about them talking. I'm talking about. Did you watch them going to the because there's clips of it on YouTube going to the Gold Coast
I haven't
and
seen that.
visiting the where they had the ancestors, the slaves and stuff like that. So obviously they go there. They're all going down there. You can see the shock in their face because obviously, if it's something that you've never experienced before, you're gonna be shocked, you know. And they all went there. Then obviously, that's when they then plan to have all this.
Hey,
Um,
this is Africa has a question.
yeah,
He said, "Who's going to operate the city so it won't fall apart? The Americans there is not enough that are skilled to keep it going." This is true. Who?
I believe I believe it's gonna be Americans.
Oh, uh, uh, Americans are gonna be running it.
Yeah, and Guardians.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing Wakanda City. This is, like I was talking to some of the people I met in the conference. These are white Americans. And I was telling them, and some are black, of course. So I was telling them about how black people are going to Africa. They said they are moving, but they have no idea that this is a thing.
Of course, yes. I mean, this is this has been planned. You know what I mean for a very long time, and I think a lot of people don't know really what's going on in Ghana. A
Yeah.
lot of people just talk out their backside. They don't really know what they're talking about. And we lived there for a good 3 years, so we got to see a lot. When I say a lot, I got to see the things I did not like. I'm from Ghana, but I wouldn't be going back to Ghana to live. That I can promise you. So I'm coming as much as I may love the fact that I'm from Ghana, or I may love the fact that my bloodline lies in there and I know myself.
Right.
I'm not going to be living in Ghana. No, that's not for me. Coming from that one, I say it, and I don't hold back in what I say, and I mean it. You know what I mean? So, when first and foremost, Ghana is too expensive. So when I see people telling lies and saying, "Oh, they're gonna go to Ghana and live in Ghana, and they're gonna do this and that, or they're gonna go and buy land and sell to other people, and they're gonna sit back in the West and relax," I laugh because I know, mate, you're lying to yourself. It's not that straightforward. With Ghana, money talks, and excuse my language, bullshit
Bullshit
walks.
works, of course.
You know what I mean? So you sitting here and thinking, yeah, you can play the big boss, and you can sit down and you can send someone to Ghana. They would take your money and chop that like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's like you just gotta let people just make their own mistakes sometimes. But I learned a big lesson. I don't know if I've said this to you before, but we spent about £60,000. 60,000 pounds. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, someone
60,000 pounds cash.
areas. Wow. So they took all your money, huh?
Of course, because obviously, I mean, you go pay for this, you go pay for that, you go pay for this, you go pay for that. This is all it was. It's like you try and do something simple that's supposed to take a day, it takes a week. Everything just drags and drags and drags, and you think, hold on 1 minute here. You know what I mean? I did not come back so you can just basically milk me. I'm not a cow. But that's just how it is.
Man,
That's
I
what
don't.
people think. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I say I don't think a lot of black people coming from America are gonna. I don't know how they'll be able to survive that coming from a system here in America where you want something, you're getting it right now.
No, no, no. And I'm sure you know already with even with Gambia, right?
Uh-huh.
Anything you want is not at your fingertips.
No, it takes
It takes time.
anything, even like paperwork, everything just takes forever, but
Of
uh,
course.
that's just how they run the show over there. And someone here,
Of course.
Aria said, Dr. Arikana is the director of it. Is Arikana, is that the Pan-Africanist lady?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man, about that woman, man. She looks like a race hustler.
Of course it is. They're all in it together. Remember, all these African leaders are there to just make money. They work hand in hand with the West. And if you don't know, you think that they're for the people, but they're
Right.
for their own pockets. That's what they're for,
They're
not for
em-
the people.
they're employees.
Oh yes, 100%. Of course they are. I mean, you've got to look at every African president that comes and sits on that seat. When they come with no money, but when they leave with a lot of money. Their kids are rich, they're rich, they own a lot of land, they own a lot of property, and now they have that power because they've got the money. And that's just the way it is. And then the rest of us that have to work hard for whatever we get, we have to now get squeezed in what we're trying to do to build our own families too for future generations. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's man, we've been here 2.5 hours, man. I gotta get ready for my flight, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, I gotta thanks for coming in. You know,
Yeah,
people.
no doubt.
Yeah, man, the topic, you know, like at least, man, we were able to crunch in a whole bunch of different things we want, you know, we wanted to talk about. That's what I like, because you know what? Yes, we would, you know, touch on the actual topic, but you know, we can at this show we can just segue into, you know,
And
anything.
and and I just want to give a shout out to the biggest hater of all haters. Johanna is in town, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
Johanna, yes, he's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he can't stay away.
I
Yeah,
know, I know. He's he's such a hater, and you know, the biggest deceiver of all deceivers.
he's a snake.
Of course, no doubt.
Yeah, he's a snake.
Parasite.
Yeah, I remember he came in and pretended like he was a rational thinking man when he called in the other day, but he's obviously a snake.
Oh, 100%. He's definitely a
Yeah,
snake, all right.
yeah, he's a snake. But you know, I'll still welcome him. Welcome,
A snake,
Johanna. I know that you are a snake. That's
a
fine.
snake with no venom.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, and your others, if you're just getting here, you're probably wondering, oh man, what is this guy's talking about? We were talking about Lizzo, you know, falling from the grace of the woke mob. Um, they finally have let her know that, they don't want to put up with her showing all that oversized body to them naked. People are waking up. People don't want to see this type of things anymore. So, and all this degeneracy that is, rampant in America, people are tired of it. And, so it is time to wake up to the change, because over here, we are about the truth. This is what the channel is about. It's about speaking truth, you know? So if you are very sensitive, if you are beta, this is not a place for you. But either way, you are welcome at your own discretion. Hopefully, 100 years from now, some of you might wake up, but it might be too late by then. But thank you for joining us here at the Afridamus Report. It's been a lovely night. I gotta go get ready for my flight. I have a long flight to catch, back home. So when I get back home, we would go back to our regular, schedule programs. Hey, DMF, hang around, okay?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, hang around.